Hello, context traders. Today is May 13th, 2025, and I want to go over the opening play today. We had a wonderful opportunity in the markets today looking at the QQQ. Now, I want to start with where are we at the end of day yesterday? So, over here on this left-hand side here, I have my daily chart up just for a moment to show you something. So, we saw yesterday's daily came down and formed a rocket bar finishing up. And what do we know about rocket bars? Rocket bars should expand on the next bar. Next bar should be explosive. But if we also think about where did we come from, then this little detail might get lost. See, what we have here is our 200. We know our 200 moving average is our strongest moving average, the one that we get the most reaction from, right? Because we came up to it, we rejected off. We came up to it, rejected off. We came back, we blasted through it. So I want you to pretend for me that this is just one big green bar. One big green bar. Boom, exploded right off the 200. And so what do we know about follow through? We have a giant elephant sized bar here. We should be expecting a high rate of follow through. So we're looking at 1/2, third, third, our zones. Where could price come back into, right? So we're looking at this following through. It's possible that we have a small mini follow through day today, right? Just staying in the upper third and it's the next bar that takes off. But there's also a very high probability that if we stay in this upper third, that we're going to have another big bar to the upside. So I'm already coming into today with a bit of a bias, just looking for an opportunity to get involved. Okay. So let's clear those out and let's see where we're opening up at. Let's drop this back down to our 5-minute time frame. Okay. All right. So here we are at the open. We expanding up and 1 minute, 2 minute, immediate attempt to fill some of the gap, drops down, and we get this 180 back up, right? So finishing with a nice 2-minute rocket bar, accelerating, popping out of this expanding state. We're coming out of this narrow state, we're expanding on the one. We're coming out of this narrow state, we're expanding on the two. We're above the 21 and the 10 on the 5. We're clearing that end of day zone, right? We had this end of day zone. We had a nice finish to the end of the day. It actually went into the pre-market a little bit. And so we're expanding up. Everything's pointing up. You may not jump right in here. You see this first candle shooting down. Maybe you want to wait and see if this is going to fill, come back to the close of yesterday, maybe catch a moving average for power. So that's okay. This would be a pretty aggressive entry to catch this one. Just from POE, right? You might have caught this one. I personally waited. I watched this one drop. But when this shoots back up and we close or cancel out the majority of that, that's an eraser, right? That's an eraser bar right here, the second minute. And I'm looking over here at my 2 minute. I'm thinking rocket bar to the upside. So really, anytime you could get in right here. We could get in right there. You could get in at close or you could potentially get in on this would be my last chance entry, honestly, just because of time, right? Time of day, early morning play. I don't want to, right? So I could get in there. I could get in right here, or this wicks down, taps that same area. If you're quick, you could get in there. But remember, these are early morning plays, so they could be quick snaps up, quick snaps back. So you don't want to be late to the party on these first few minutes of the day. So this is your optimal entry right here, in my opinion. You could have taken this one clear down here, anticipating this is an engulfing 180 bar. You could have got in here as this bar is coming back up and just set your risk below that candle. That's fine if you like to be aggressive. If you want to be a little bit more cautious, look for a little more confirmation. I would say once this 180s and cancels that out, it's a very bullish move to have a 180 bar canceling out a failed bear attempt. So right in here, we get in, we come up, and I took this one in two legs personally. So we came up. As soon as this extends out and we get into that 5, 10, 70 range and it starts to pull back, I killed that trade right there. I did not even wait for it to break down lower.
Connection.
All right. Um, so I let that one go. I gave up a little bit of this profit here, but I saw this as a sweep up. I thought we might pull back into the 21. So I took this for a little over $1, just a quick dollar move. And that's usually what I'm looking for in that first move of the day. Something 75 cents to $1, lock it in. Don't want to give any of that green back. So trade one done in the books. I was looking at this as a potential where it could crash back down into the moving averages here. So we got the 1, 2 pullback, 3 just went a little bit higher, fell back down. It's chopping in here for a few minutes. I was thinking there's a chance that this might try to crash into those moving averages, maybe try to come back for a deeper retracement to get some more people on board and help this bull run out. But once we started just gravitating over towards on a flat retrace, I was starting to lose interest in any chance of this to come back down. It was just really about timing at that point. I thought if this area here held, we were probably going to explode up. If this cracked through, it might come back a little bit deeper. I didn't necessarily think it was going to be a reversal. I wasn't looking to necessarily look for some big move back to the downside. I just thought we might get a deeper pullback for an even better discount entry. But as this is just moving in here in this range, we're gravitating into this 21. I'm just looking for an entry bar. And I got my entry bar right here. This was at the 940, I'm sorry, the 950 bar Eastern. That's my 650 bar Pacific. And we see big-ish 1 minute candle down, couldn't get lower, small indecision candle. Then we have the 951 Eastern bar opens coming off of that 21, starts to clear out, and we're in right there on this bar. And this was absolutely beautiful today. Look at what we get. Just whoom, straight up, right? Took a little bit off, first hesitation, took some of my position off right there, but this was such a strong leg out. I did have a bit of a bias coming into the day that we were going to get at least to the 515 range after I saw this first leg up. So let me show you this little trick. Shout out to our fearless warrior, Mr. Tom B, for this little trick. But look at where we came from down here. So we go, count this as one sweeping move up. One, boom, explosion leg up. A little bit of a pause. And here, where might we get to? I'll just take that trend line and I'll bring it right back to there. And look at that. Right into that 515 area. So I'm thinking leg up, pause, leg up, and we got real close to that. So I already had this as a target in mind, somewhere in this 75% to 100% extension of that first leg out of the narrow state. So I took off a little bit of my position here just to be safe, just to bank some green, and then I held. And then when we got into this 515 area, we came up just short 514.90. I took off a little bit more on my position and I just locked in runners at that point. And as of shooting this video, I still have runners in this trade. We are all the way up here at 516.88 now. So we cleared that zone. We're working our way up. and I'm just going to likely leave this going for the remainder of the day, right? There was a couple other opportunities in here. Let's just take a quick look here, just for educational purposes. Right, we got into this zone, pulled back in it again, retested on top of it. You could get in here 515.25 up to 516.25, quick dollar move. I'm not interested in any puts at all until I see a change in character, right? We had one little chance here, but it didn't pan out. So we saw a low make a high, a pullback, make a little bit slightly higher high. Technically, then I would consider this pullback a shift in potential momentum. I would not consider this a full change of character until we take out this area right here, but it was at least a potential shift because we didn't make a new high. And then we pulled back here, made another lower high. If this one had gone lower, I would have thought, okay, now pull back and down. But because this still held and we came back up, we're still intact to the upside. I have zero interest in puts until I see complete capitulation, displacement, some sort of a blast off, and then put back down potentially, or that this thing just chops around and slowly starts to turn it over. Could the bottom drop out of this at any point? Absolutely. I'm not saying that's not a possibility. It's just not something I'm looking for. So for me, I'm going to keep these runners in probably for the majority of the day because I know if I go back to my daily chart, I'll just finish this video up real quick. Go back to my daily chart. What am I expecting? Rocket bar, elephant bar. I'm thinking we're going to continue and finish this strong for the day. We might run into this zone up here. So actually, I may just go ahead and take profit in and walk away. But we could get up into this zone and we could have some resistance, end of day, a little bit of a sell off. That's absolutely possible. But I'm thinking that this day is going to finish fairly strong. Could be wrong. Could see a pullback at the end of the day. But at this point, I've banked my profit and I am super happy. Okay. I hope that helps everyone on how we looked at today's market, and drop some comments, questions into the chat. Hit that like button if you saw any value in what we discussed here today. And as always, everyone, happy trading. We'll see you next time.